Alright guys, welcome back. CFP here, and this is Survival Living. So today we are working on our bow drill, creating fire. Alright, we just recently did a video. I was messing around with it and it took nearly 3 hours. That's collecting material and actually using the bow drill to actually make an ember to start a fire. In my book, that took way too long. I'm pretty sure you'll agree with me. Down here in Florida, we got a lot of humidity, and it does affect friction fires, so it does take longer, but 3 hours is pretty ridiculous. So today we are going to be going over the basics of the bow drill, the actual components of what you need to do to create a bow drill, and we're going to make fire. Now, one of the first things I want to talk about is we're going to be using cedar. That's going to be our wood of choice today. So we are taking all material from cedar. It's going to be our hearth board, which I call a fire board, our spindle, all that's going to be cedar. So all the working parts can be the same type of wood. Makes the process much easier. Can you use other types of wood? Yes, you can. I have seen people use many different types of wood, and I've seen them use different types of wood during the whole process, you know, mixed and matching everything up, and it still works. So anyway guys, let's go ahead and go over the first part of our project. So we went ahead and acquired a branch off of our cedar tree. This is actually pretty dried out. That particular cedar tree got hit by lightning many years ago, so a lot of the wood on it is dead. Now, we're going to be making our spindle out of this, and I am going to reference some of the longtime survival guys and bushcraft guys, which is actually a very good idea. Black Scout Survival has always said you want to kind of measure it out between your pinky and your thumb for your spindle. This is your drill bit. I believe he calls it the hang 10. I guess it would be called that. That's about the right size right there for a spindle, okay? So we're going to cut it back just a little bit. I've already got mine pre-marked. We're going to cut that off, and we're going to show you how to trim your ends for your spindle. Okay, so we got our spindle, our drill bit. One side is more pointy than the other. I want a more blunt end on this end, because this is the end that's actually going down to our hearth board to create our ember. Now I want a more pointy end up here so that I can put it in my socket. Now a socket can be just a piece of wood split in half. You know, I've been using this one for a while, and you see the divot there? That's where that end of your drill bit's going to go. Now I wanted to show you this new little item here. I picked this up on Amazon from Randall's Adventures and Training School of Survival. It is a piece of steel for flint striking, but it also comes with a socket for bow drills. I was using this a lot yesterday. I like it. This is actually going to be going with me on our survival training course up there for Pathfinders. I'll be taking that with me. This is why I've been trying this out, to make sure I like it and if it works correctly. So basically that is your drill right there. Now we need to make the rest of the components for our bow drill. So we need a bow. This is just a branch I picked up off the ground. It is not in the best shape condition, but it has a nice little curve to it that actually works good for me. You can get them all dressed up and everything if you want to, if you're going to be keeping a set with you at all time. I'm not going to be keeping a set with me because I know how to make them. I will be keeping paracord though. This is what we're using today, is 550 paracord. This particular paracord is the same paracord we got from Ryan over the Prescott Caliber Club a while back. So this is what we're using. Alright, so when you string it up, you see mine's loose. Well, that's because I pre-fit it for this spindle. This particular spindle is about as wide as my thumb. Alright, put it in front of my thumb. Okay, I don't know if that's coming up good or not. The reason why I like it a little bit wider is because when you're creating your friction fire, the more surface you have, the better chance. Because if you're using thinner ones like this compared to this, you can get an ember, but you can also punch holes left and right through your fireboard and you'll be there all day. Less friction surface on this end, more friction surface on this end. So that's why I'll go wider. Now, to test it out, I got it loose. You want your bow to sit snug when you crank it down. All right, easy way to check and see if it's snug enough is try to pull it, and if it takes a lot to slide it, see it, I'm sliding it through the string. I'm not letting it rotate. If it takes a lot to do that, you got enough tension on it. But if you need to add more tension while using bow, just mash against your string, just like that, and it'll tighten down on your bowstring. All right, next we need to make our fire board or hearth board. Alright guys, so like I said, we're doing everything with cedar. I had some pieces of cedar laying around, and now we split our board. And what we're also going to do, we're going to take our hatchet, place around, I don't know, about an inch down, and split that side so our board's laying flat, so we have a working area. Alright, so we have our board. So I believe we're going to be using this piece over here, but we got extra pieces. Okay, so now we also have to figure out where we're going to put our drill hole and our notches. You can use either side of this board. I've heard you can't use this side, it won't work. It does work. You can use this side, it doesn't matter. It all works. So basically we need to see what the diameter is of our drill bit. And we want to pull away from our edge about 1/2 inch, okay? When we have that laid out, we will take our knife, make an indentation in our board, showing where our drill bit will be hitting. So we're going to set that off to the side. It's hot out here, I'm sweating. Try not to sweat all over your wood. Everything's got to be dry for this to work. Alright, so right here where I got my little hole punch right there, kind of like a center punch, I'm going to open it up just a little bit with my knife. That way when I do my first burn in with my bit, it won't be sliding all over everywhere. Think of this as a pilot hole, like if you're pre-drilling something. Because technically that's what we're doing. We are pre-drilling this. Alright, once I'm happy with that, take our drill, make sure it fits in there good, doesn't look like it's going to be wobbling everywhere. Alright, so we need to do a burnout on this thing first before we start cutting our knots. So basically we are going to run our drill on this and do a burnout. Okay, so we can see we got a burn in. Now we need to cut out our notch. Now we're going to take this piece of wood here and place under our notch area to help collect our ember if it was to fall down. It just helps everything build up nicely, keeps it all off the ground. Sorry guys, we got a lot of heat out here, but we got our coal. Okay guys, we had to move to a new location because our camera kept failing. It's pretty hot out here. We went through 3 batteries in 20 minutes. That's how hot it is. And our camera kept shutting down. So we are putting the camera in the shade and we are moving over here. We've actually already started 3 different fires. So I had to create a new bird's nest and everything because every time I went to film, turns out the camera was off. So, practice makes perfect, right? Alright guys, so that is that. So, time. 1 hour and 20 minutes, roughly. I did go inside and cool down because, yeah, it's that freaking hot out here. The humidity is ridiculous. We had camera issues. We had 3 dead batteries. We've already started 3 different, that's number 4, 4th fire. But, if it's not on film, it didn't happen. Remember that. Not saying that people are lying about anything. It's just, that's the way it is. I mean, if you can't produce and show that you actually know what you're talking about, you know what? Get it on film. If you didn't get it on film, it didn't happen. That's just the way it is. So there you go, guys. That is fire number 4. Unfortunately, the other 3 just didn't take on film. But I did get that one. Like I said, we had to put this in the shade, the camera, because we kept losing our camera. But we were able to do it. I was determined to get it on film. Reason being, well, I'm not satisfied with my proficiency with the bow drill. I'm not. If my life depends on using it, I want to make sure I can get that sucker in operation and a coal and ember started quicker. It took us about 1 hour and 20 minutes for that 4th one. It's just freaking hot out here. I mean, everything, just humidity sucks. Okay, right fast guys, while I have your attention, Black Scout Survival, great channel to go check out, especially for bushcraft outdoor survival information. Also, I had to look it up again because I keep forgetting the name because I'm so horrible, is Ranger Survival and Fieldcraft. That's the other channel I was trying to think of, guys. The guy's got a lot of great information. I believe he says his name is Andrew. Great bushcraft outdoor survival information. You really need to work on these skills, guys. I saw a comment, well, I'll just buy 100 Bic lighters. Here's a scenario for you. When you get on a plane, you're not allowed to carry your Bic lighter on you. Plane goes down. Hey, castaway all over again. How are you going to start a fire if you survive the plane crash? People survived plane crashes before. You ain't got no lighter. Might be an idea to start learning alternative means of creating fire. Alright, let's say something's not as drastic as that. Let's say everything happens, everything goes down. Eventually your lighters will run out. Eventually your propane your electric ignitions and stuff like that to start fire will go out eventually. They're not being replaced. Grid goes down. EMP, coronal mass ejection. Society stops. Eventually your supplies will dwindle. Eventually those supplies will break down. Sure, you can store 200 million lighters for all I care. Most lighters are made out of plastic. Plastic degrades over time. Just a thought. Quit trying to find the easy way out when it comes to prepping and survival. Sure, prepping, we store food, we store supplies. I'm all about prepping. But I'm not going to sit there and let my whole survival depends on what I got stored up. That's why I always say spread your stocks out. Be prepared to leave if you have to in an evacuation plan. Learn how to survive with nothing. That way, no matter what happens, you have the ability to survive. I'm not getting on anybody. I'm just saying open up your minds. Don't be closed-minded about things. Is it hard learning these outdoor skills? Yeah. But with everything, practice. Practice, practice, practice. Don't cheat yourself. If you don't get it right the first time, see what you're doing wrong. There's a lot of information out here. It might not even be anything you're doing wrong. It could be environmental conditions. Could be. Just keep practicing. I believe in you. I mean, I can do it. You can do it. All right, guys. Y'all take care. Speak to y'all later.